he had a devious plan. Not far away was his island, of which Bilbo knew nothing, and there, in his hiding place, he kept a few wretched oddments, and one very beautiful thing. Very beautiful and very wonderful. He had a ring, a golden ring, a precious ring.
"My birthday present,"
he whispered to himself, as he had often done in the endless dark days.
"That's what he wants now, yes, he wants it. He wants the birthday present."
He wanted it because it was a ring of power, and if you slipped that ring on your finger, you were invisible. Only in the full sunlight could you be seen, and only then by your shadow, and that would be shaky and faint.
Yes, my birthday present. He came to me on my birthday present. He came to me.
So he had always said to himself. But who knows how Gollum came by that present ages ago in the old days when such rings were still at large in the world. Perhaps even the master who ruled them could not have said. Gollum used to wear it at first till it tired him. Then he kept it in a pouch next to his skin till it galled him, and now usually he just hid it in a hole in the rock on his island. But he was always going to look at it, and still sometimes he put it on, whether he could bear it or not, and he couldn't be parted from it, not for any much longer, not for long at all, in fact. And when he was very hungry and tired of fish, he just went and looked at it. Then he would creep along dark passages with it on, looking for stray goblins. He might even venture into places where the torches were lit and made his eyes blink and smart, for he would be safe, oh, quite safe. No one would see him, no one would notice him till he had his fingers on their throat. Only a few hours ago he had worn it and caught a small goblin imp. How it squeaked! How every bone had been snapped on its body.
Quite safe. Yes, quite safe. It won't see us, will it, precious? No, it won't see the nasty little sounds. It'll be useless. Yes, quite useless.
That was what was in his wicked little mind as he slipped suddenly from Bilbo's side and flopped back to his boat and went off into the dark. Bilbo thought he had heard the last of him. Still, he waited a while, for he had no idea how to find his way out alone. Suddenly, he heard a screech. It sent a shiver down his back. Gollum was cursing and wailing away in the gloom, not very far off by the sound of it. He was on his island, scrambling here and there and searching in vain.
Where is it? Where is it?
Bilbo heard him crying.
Lost it is, my precious, lost! Curses and crushes, where is it lost?
What's the matter? Bilbo called. What have you lost?
Mustn't ask us!
Shrieked Gollum.
Not his business! No! Gollum, it's lost! Gollum!
Well, so am I! Cried Bilbo. And I want to get unlost. And I won the game and you promised, so come along. Come and let me out, and then go on with your looking. Utterly miserable as Gollum sounded, Bilbo could not find much pity in his heart, and he had a feeling that anything Gollum wanted so much could hardly be something good. Come along! He shouted.
No, not yet, precious, Gollum answered. We must search for it. It's lost, Gollum.
But you never guessed my last question, and you promised, said Bilbo.
Never guessed,
said Gollum. Then suddenly out of the gloom came a sharp hiss.
Hiss, yes. What has it got in its pockets? Tell us that. It must tell us first.
As far as Bilbo knew, there was no particular reason why he should not tell. Gollum's mind had jumped to the guess quicker than his, naturally, for Gollum had brooded for ages on this one thing, and he was always afraid of it being stolen. But Bilbo was annoyed at the delay. After all, he had won the game pretty fairly, at a horrible risk. Answers were to be guessed, not given, he said.
But it wasn't a full question,
said Gollum.
Not a riddle, precious. No, not a riddle.
Oh, well, if it's a matter of ordinary questions, Bilbo replied, then I ask first. What have you lost? Tell me that.
What has it got in its pockets?
The sound came hissing louder and sharper as he looked towards it. To his alarm, Bilbo now saw two small points of light peering at him. As suspicion grew in Gollum's mind, the light of his eyes burned with a pale flame. "What have you lost?" Bilbo persisted. But now the light in Gollum's eyes had become a green fire, and it was coming swiftly nearer. Gollum was in his boat again, paddling wildly back to the dark shore, in such a rage of loss and suspicion in his heart that no sword had any more terror for him. Bilbo could not guess at what had maddened the wretched creature, but he saw that all this was up, and that Gollum meant to murder him at any rate. Just in time he turned and ran blindly back up the dark passageway down which he had come, keeping close to the wall and feeling it with his left hand.
What has it got in his pockets?
He heard the hiss loud behind him and the splash of Gollum as he leapt from his boat.
What have you got in your pockets?
He screamed. What have I? What have I got, I wonder? He said to himself as he panted and stumbled along. He put his left hand into his pocket. The ring felt very cold as it quietly slipped onto his groping forefinger. The hiss was close behind him. He turned now and saw Gollum's eyes like small green lamps coming up the slope. Terrified, he tried to run faster, but suddenly he struck his toe onto a snag in the floor and fell flat, and his little sword was under him. In a moment, Gollum was on him. But before Bilbo could do anything, recover his breath, pick himself up, or wave his sword, Gollum passed by, taking no notice of him, cursing and wailing and whispering as he ran. What could it mean? Gollum could see in the dark. Bilbo could see the light of his eyes, palely shining, even from behind. Painfully he got up and sheathed his sword, which was now growing faintly again. Then, very cautiously, he followed Gollum. There seemed nothing else to do. It was no good crawling back down to Gollum's water. Perhaps, if he followed him, Gollum might lead him to escape without meaning to.
Curse it! Curse it, curse it, curse it!
Hissed Gollum.
Curse the Bagginses! It's gone! What has it got in its pockets? What has it got in its pockets? Oh, yes. Yes, we guess. Yes, we guess. He's found it. He must have found it. He's found my birthday present.
Bilbo pricked up his ears. He was at last beginning to guess himself. He hurried a little, getting as close as he dared behind Gollum, who was still going quickly, not looking back, but turning his head from side to side, as Bilbo could see from the faint glimmer on the walls.
Cousin! My birthday present! How did we lose it, precious? Yes, that's it. Yes, when we came this way, we twisted that nasty long squeaker. We twisted its neck. That's it, cursed it. The precious slipped from us. No, after all these ages and ages, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, no.
Suddenly, Gollum sat down and began to weep. A whistling and gurgling sound, horrible to listen to. Bilbo halted and flattened himself against the tunnel wall. After a while, Gollum stopped weeping and began to talk. He seemed to be having an argument with himself.
It's no good. It's no good to go back. No. We doesn't remember all the places we've been. It's no use. The Bagginses has got it in its pockets. That nasty nosers found it with us. Yes. We guesses, precious. Oh, the guesses. But we can't know. Not until we finds the nasty creatures and squeezes it. But it doesn't know what the present can do. It doesn't know. It just has it in its pockets. It can't know the secrets. It doesn't know. Can't go far. It's lost itself, the nasty, nosy little Bagginses. It doesn't know the way out, it says so. It says so. But it's tricksy. It's tricksy. It doesn't say what it means. I won't say what it's got in its pockets, but I knows. It knows a way in. It must know a way out. Yes. It's off. It's off to the back door! To the back door! That's it! No! The goblins will catch it. You can't get that way, precious. The goblins can't get the precious. Goblins, yes. If it's got by the present, yes. But if it's got the precious, the goblins will get the precious. They'll find it in the Backenses. When Chandler is safe, we'll be down here and haunted. One of the goblins will get it and see us. No, I can't let it go. But it's tricksy. It's tricksy and false. What to do? Let's stop talking. Precious, stop talking. Let's make haste. Yes. If the Backenses have gone to the back door, we go in haste, Precious. Go! Get the Backenses!
With a spring, Gollum got up and started shambling off at a great pace. Bilbo hurried after him, still cautiously, though his chief fear now was tripping on another snag and falling with a noise. His head was in a whirl of hope and wonder. It seemed that the ring he had was a magic ring and made you invisible. He had heard of such things, of course, in old tales, but it was hard to believe that he really had found one, and totally by accident. Still, there it was. Gollum was ahead with his bright eyes as he passed him by, only a yard to one side. On they went, Bilbo flip-flapping ahead, hissing and cursing, Bilbo just behind as softly as a hobbit can. Soon they came to places where, as Bilbo had noticed on the way down, side passages opened one way, then another. Gollum began to count them all at once.
One left, yes. One right, yes. Two right, yes, yes. Two left, yes, yes.
And so on, and so on. As the count grew, he slowed down, and he began to get shaky and weepy again, for he was leaving the water further and further behind, and getting afraid. Goblins might be about, and he lost his ring. At last he stopped by a low opening on their left as they went up.
7 right, yes. 6 left, yes,
he whispered.
This is it. This is the way to the back door. Yes, here's the passage.
He leaned in and shrank back.
But we don't scream, Precious. No, we don't scream. Goblins is down there. Lots of them. I smelled them. Lots of smells of the goblins. What shall we do? Curse them and crush them. Yes, Precious. Good idea. We wait here, Precious. We wait here and see. We see where the back end is. Yes.
So they came to a dead stop. Gollum had brought Bilbo to the way after all, but Bilbo could not get in. There was Gollum sitting humped up right in the opening, and his eyes gleaming cold in his head as he swayed from side to side between his knees. Bilbo crept away from the wall more quietly than a mouse, but Gollum stiffened at once and sniffed, and his eyes went green. He hissed softly but menacingly. He could not see the hobbit, but now he was on the alert, and he had other senses that the darkness had sharpened, hearing and smell. He seemed to be crouching right down with his flat hands splayed on his floor, and his head thrust out, nose almost to the stone. Though he was only a black shadow in the gleam of his own eyes, Bilbo could see or feel that he was a tense bowstring gathered for a spring. Bilbo almost stopped breathing and went stiff himself. He was desperate. He must get away, out of this horrible darkness, while he still had any strength left. He must fight. He must stab the foul thing. Put it in its eyes. Kill it. It meant to kill him. No, not a fair fight. He was invisible now. Gollum had no sword. Gollum had actually threatened to kill him. No, he hadn't threatened to kill him. No. In fact, Gollum was a miserable creature. Miserable, alone, lost. And sudden understanding, a pity mixed with horror welled up in Bilbo's heart, a glimpse of endless unmarked days without a light or hope of betterment, hard stone, cold fish sneaking and whispering. All these thoughts passed in a flash of a second, and he trembled. And he quite suddenly, in another flash, as if lifted by new strength and resolve, he leaped. No great leap for a man, but a leap in the dark. Straight over Gollum's head he jumped, 7 feet forward and 3 in the air. Indeed, had he known it, he only just missed cracking his skull on the low arch of the passage. Gollum threw himself backwards and grabbed as the hobbit flew over him, but too late. His hands snapped out in thin air, and Bilbo, falling fair on his sturdy feet, sped off down the new tunnel. he did not turn to see what Gollum was doing. There was a hissing and a cursing, almost at his heels at first. Then it stopped. All at once there came a blood-curdling